would help keep some of it down of the amount that we have to go up.
The $38, that's every 2 weeks, right?
Right,
So it's that's $17.
$19
$19
a month.
a week.
week.
What was your idea, Paul? I know you passed this out. And I haven't started.
That was to go with the silver,
That
right?
was to go with the silver, and
Mhm.
overall, yes. We paid the deductibles. And I pulled up this book that they gave us. Trying to find that copy that you got,
Is that this one?
yeah.
That's from Hometown Solutions, that book.
Yeah, but the rates are the same.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Here's a picture. Okay.
You didn't put on here. Oh, maybe you did. Down to the bottom, deductibles. Are copays on here too? On your handwritten sheet?
MVP gold per year.
On the sheet that I printed, are the copays on
No,
there?
the thing that Paul did.
Oh, that one.
The difference between
They're
silver.
not
and
on
gold.
yours either, are they?
Huh?
I'm just wondering how much the copays would go up if we do it your way.
How much the copays go up?
Yeah,
No, it's right here.
Okay, it's right here in the book. Okay,
tell me what page.
it doesn't have a page number. That's it right there in your hand. Probably open to it, Jim.
Very first page.
Sheet one, right there. There's 2 columns in yellow at the bottom.
Does the first column or the second column? 15% increase? Your copays, if we stay, and what I was figuring on. Was the MVP HMO silver. Okay,
Okay, yeah,
which was a 2.6% increase on the overall, or no. A minus a 2% increase. Okay, yes, our deductibles went up. Okay, but at the same time, like I had figured. Okay, we're paying for the deductibles. At the present time, I don't know where we stand at the present time, when the figures were given to me, roughly $30,000 we still had left. To use up between now and the end of the year, correct, Colleen? Okay, so we're a plus $30,000 right there. Okay, with the savings and the difference between the two, yes. Our deductibles go up, but we didn't use up the deductibles last year anyways. Okay, everything else, yes. Primary copays went up a couple bucks. Okay, but overall, if you look at the overall thing on my sheet. Okay, we're looking at $61,297.60. Okay. Is a minus figure. Added in, you take that and we're saving $25,927.60 over the course of the thing. And that's where I came up with my figures. Yes, we're paying more out of the deductibles. But just like anything you're co-insuring, it's a roll of the dice situation.
I guess it takes less money out of the employee's pocket if we stay with the silver on a weekly basis. Being that
If we switch to the silver, because they
Yeah.
currently have.
Well, right now,
they have gold now.
Yes,
Yes,
Right now,
okay,
they're-
yeah.
So we're dropping it down to silver.
individuals are $719. Okay, with the increases, we're talking 706. So they're gonna have to pay out less money out of their pocket.
In effect, that's on a weekly or bi-weekly basis, that's. Cost of inflation, everything and left. I guess it helps the employee out.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
the change in deductibles, some of them are pretty significant.
There
Like
is
copays, I'm sorry.
copays.
copays.
$200, $500, $20, $50. I don't know, when I was first starting out, wife I would rather pay as I go than get whacked.
Pay as you
In
go.
other words, I'd be leaning towards taking more out of their paychecks so that they don't get whacked so hard if they have a problem.
I don't think they think like that. I mean, I gotta be wrong. I don't think they think like that. I think what they're gonna see if their weekly paycheck goes down. Cause I remember the contractual things I went through with the state. They give you 3%, but then your insurance went up 3%. It was a wash.
4%.
Yeah, well, we got 3. Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah.
So. I mean,
I think that's a valid point.
you know what I mean? I mean, just
Yeah.
looking at it from a working stiff's point of view, does not making cost, everything else is going up in the world.
Does this sheet?
And that's
gave
that's
us
just how they're gonna see it.
It's strictly,
But how much did you pay for your health insurance through the state,
Jeez.
percentage wise? I mean, most
We paid-
people that I've talked to is at least 20%.
Yeah,
The county's more than 20%. I think it's 22.
I'm just looking at it from a practical view, how they look
We're,
at it.
we're doing 5. That's really good.
Yeah.
So, I'm not that I want to beat up on anybody, but you gotta. But you're taking a chance that you don't get sick and you don't need the doctors, so you
Well,
won't pay anything.
the way we got it right now, you got 8 individuals. You got 11 with spouse. You got 1 with child and 4 with family,
Mhm.
okay? That's how it stands right now.
So if we go to the overall cost, the thing that you looked at, which was MVP Silver 3,
3,
is 706.
70616.
Okay, and Gene, the gold
Is 825. So there's roughly,
minus what we take out of the employees, right?
don't even look at that. Right this second, you gotta look at that versus that.
No, what I want to do is look at the cost of the town of the 2 plans we're kind of thinking about right now,
Okay,
right?
but right now, on a renewal at 15%, you're looking at $825. Okay. Versus 706. So that's roughly $120 right there. Times the 20-some employees you got. That's if everybody's an individual, but we got 8 in that category alone. Okay. And you're talking $11,495 difference in that alone. Between staying with the 15% on gold versus silver. Gold, silver, difference.
That's with what deduction?
Huh? That's not including what the employee pays. This is what this says.
Okay.
Okay? This right here for 8 individuals, okay, at 706.
Yeah.
Okay? Is that figure. And the 25 is this figure. And the difference between that figure and that figure is 11,000, roughly $5,000, 500. That alone.
Something's wrong.
Why?
792,000. This one's 67,000.
Yeah,
That's a difference of,
11,000.
that's a difference of 700 and some thousand.
It's got a decimal in the wrong spot.
Did I make a mistake?
I think this is the. Pretty much comes down to pay me now or pay me later, huh?
Myself personally, I rather go with the silver. And possibly it might be better to come back and give them a little less out of their pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's my point of view is everything, the
Kick-
cost of everything's
Kick
going up.
back
right-
more in their weekly paycheck.
Yeah, everything's going up right now.
That's
And
correct.
the people, especially the people, the families, everybody, their grocery bills are going up. Everything's going up.
Mhm.
That's what they see. They don't. I don't know. I'd be surprised if, you know what I mean?
I do, but here's another thought that just popped into the brain here. Sooner or later, we're gonna have to start taking money out of their checks, more money. It's just inevitable the way this crap's going. When I started my company, I didn't take anything out.
Nobody's.
Health insurance was $30 a month or something. you know. But silver, if we don't take anything out of the employees, our overall town costs are gonna go down a couple percent. Am I reading that right?
It would still be with the 5% out of the employees. That figures in our 5%.
On her sheet? Okay, yeah, I see. She's got the different classifications, individual, employee, with spouse.
The 79,200 is. One of the smaller figures. Is
Yeah, you got a couple, you got.
All yours is
digit in
based
there.
on what percentage? Your figures? This
It's at 792, that's the wrong number.
minus 2%, okay.
But if we're saving that much money, I'm saying it's worthwhile giving it back in their. You know,
In effect, you're giving them a raise. They're seeing more money in their paycheck, which I think. I think that goes a long way. A long way. You know, I mean, no one's breaking the bank working for the town. Go to the grocery store, everything's going through the roof.
so if you think of it the other way, if we end up with 25,000, we only got October, November, 2 months on deductibles left. We're at roughly 30. Let's say they burn another $5,000 in the next 2 months. Okay, we're gonna have 25 left over. On top of this 25 in savings, you're looking at 50. We're good for the deductibles for next year. And that's what I was looking at.
I'm still lost with that. I can't believe they're gonna give you back that money that they,
What's that?
that's where they make money.
They aren't.
They are.
He knows it. What it is, it's a savings to us. It's not actual money that's coming back. It's money we don't have to pay.
Rolling it over and like a
It's-
slush fund
it's-
to pay.
It's a bill we're not gonna get.
That's right. It's a floating
So,
slush fund.
so I think, yeah, I think where Gene's mentality is coming from, it's not money you can budget, it's money you just don't have to spend.
That's right.
It's not income.
It's not income.
Yeah.
This is where
Whereas
co-insurance,
you're kind of talking about it
yeah,
like income.
okay.
I think there's,
This would be income. Not income, it's a savings that we're not paying out, to pay that bill,
right,
is what I'm saying.
and you think they could swallow the copays, all right?
That's up to the group. That's my opinion.
What do you think about increasing copays?
It's Greek to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't, I don't trust it. I don't understand it. I mean, I know, let's go to an employee and spouse. I'm under that. So it's $33. It's $66 a month. Roughly,
Where are you?
right at the top one, the 5% we're taking from the employees right now.
It's-
All right,
Employee and spouse,
33.22 is 66.44 a month. So it's
Okay.
like 700 and change a year. That we get
Gene, I'm sorry, is that
When are you looking at, Gene? I'm sorry.
right here, the first one on.
employee
top
spouse?
left,
That's,
top left.
it's only, I believe it's only 33.22. It wouldn't be
Yeah, it's
double.
multiplied by 2.
And multiply by.
You gotta-
two.
you have to-
To convert to a month.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm sorry. Thank you.
No, it's not multiply by 2 yet.
Yeah,
2
it'd be,
weeks and-
yeah,
yeah,
I got you.
twice a
It'd be
month.
66.44. Gotcha. Okay.
66.44. Now you multiply that by 12. You're talking.
700 and change.
700 and change. So now you got to go back over to the silver. All right. And even the first thing over here, You look at some of these courses. You go a couple of times, you're gonna eat that money up. I hate to see,
What money up?
and deductibles, when you gotta pay these deductibles out of silver, right? The co-pays I'm talking about,
Yeah, it's important
to-
to use the right word there because we're doing the deductibles.
yeah, but they're gonna pay the co-pay, the
Right.
employees.
It depends on what the service is.
Well, then go, how about the EPO silver? That's a 2% increase. After deductible, there's 0. Yeah, your deductibles are a lot more. Where it says national. The last one.
Yeah, I didn't look at that one.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference, what changes with it being an EPO.
What's that?
Now, what does that mean?
What?
It's a whole
E-
different
EPO,
category. The EPO,
it's still called silver for whatever that's worth.
yeah.
Oh,
I
it's
don't know what that
bronze,
means
is it
either.
a bronze, or which one are you looking at?
Right hand column.
All the way over on the right hand.
Right, it says bronze, doesn't it?
No, it says
So it
silver.
says MVP, EPO silver.
EPO silver,
Eight.
8 HD HP.
I don't think you're looking at the same page we are.
No,
Well, I'm looking at the one that they gave us, not what she gave us.
Oh, yeah, this is the one she gave us.
in the book. You got another page?
No, I don't think, this is the one that, oh,
There's
yeah, there's another page, there it is, I'm sorry. I'm losing it.
Let me see, G. Let me help you out.
Is this from Marshall Sterling or is this from the lady?
No, that's from Marshall. Farrell.
Exclusive provider organization, have you considered enrolling in an EPO? If so, then it's important to understand exactly what these plans are and how they work.
So this is the one from
To
Sterling,
help you
Silver
avoid
Sterling.
Right, this is the one.
That's the one from the other lady.
expensive mistakes.
You don't have it on that sheet.
Oh, that's Marshall and Sterling. That's out of here. That's out of this.
Yeah,
With an
open the first
EPO?
page there, that's the same, this is what I got here.
With an EPO, you have to get your healthcare exclusively from healthcare providers the EPO contracts with, or the EPO won't pay for care.
Yep, that's in network. It's different than
See
in
that
network.
EPO?
All right, there you
And that's
go.
No,
different
we don't
than,
want that then.
That's what I got.
that's different than in network. That's.
We don't want that for our
That's
employees.
a lot stricter. If you're in a city, that's different. But
For
you have to,
here?
oh,
I
no.
would use this one because
I know they didn't
No,
recommend
don't.
those, so
No,
that's why I
no.
wanted to see what the,
I'm not disagreeing with you, Gene. I wouldn't give that to the employees anyways. There's Martin and Sterling share.
I got 2 copies if you need no one. Think. What is it? Crapshoot.
it is. So that's why you can't use the one of the company that we're not using. Gotta go back to Martian and Sterling,
Yeah, you get, yeah.
unless you want to switch. We didn't choose yet. But we're favoring them.
Something.
Well, Martin and Sterling said it only went up 13%, but then there was another 2% added to these figures for something else that night.
Something also happened with a lady that we weren't happy about.
2 employees.
Couldn't do something or couldn't cover something. or-
No, what it was with the ladies, because I questioned her on, can we do it for our
Oh,
retirees?
Right.
And then she said yes. And then I called her a week later to make sure, yes, then she called me back or sent me an email and said they will not insure the spouses of our retirees,
Early retirees.
early retirees.
Paul, you just said about the 13% and the 15%. If you look at the Marshall and Sterling one
Yep,
and the hometown solutions.
up above it says 15.
Right, the rate went up 15%. The bottom number, the 13% is the HRA, the funding analysis for the
Yeah.
HRA. So they're saying that would only need to go up 13%.
That's what it is right here, 13%. Well, I think we're in a quandary here. I mean, everything was copacetic this year, 2023. I heard no complaints from the employees. All right, and the slight but increase to give us, it is 13%. If we stay with, don't change anything that we're taking out of the employees, stay with the first 5%. I think everybody could be happy. I'm just afraid of this one here. Somebody have major problems
Which one's that, Gene?
on the silver.
The silver.
You start looking at that silver.
Let me tell you another piece to the health insurance puzzle. The in-hospital copay, there is a resolution and there's actually a resolution in the books that the town pays that. I've only encountered it a few times. It's mostly been with women giving birth since I've been here, where they will then bring the bill in and we pay that bill. Because apparently that was negotiated when we went to a different plan once before. So if you were, I mean, at this point, that's a $200 copay. If you look at the silver, that's a $500
$500.
copay.
500, yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
But technically, as of right now, the town pays that.
That's what I'm saying.
So you'd have a copay to have a baby in a hospital.
Yep.
That's pretty cheap.
It is,
That's an
I agree.
understatement of the year.
I agree. That's.
$500 to have a
Weasel,
baby.
As far as I'm concerned, but they're all like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that as far as one of the large increases in the copay, the way it is currently set up, the town pays that.
Now, if you take $300 difference and divide it by 24 pay periods, that's $12.50. So. I don't know if that's typical of one person, you know, for what they would have to shell out for a copay. Or not. Kind of somehow I'm trying to compare apples and oranges, which is copays versus weekly deductions.
Yeah. So Gene, you liked, as far as anything changing, you were in favor of the silver? For everything
No,
that
I'm
works,
in favor
or-
He wants to stay where he is with the gold.
Because, I mean, we were really good
Okay.
this, I mean, I had to use it a little bit, it was fair prices and I think you have to worry about employees that really have a problem, major. When you start getting into cancer and different things that have to be done. But it's a tough thing. It is a tough thing, because if you don't go to the doctor, or you don't have to. Anybody at this table didn't go to a doctor this year?
I wish.
Okay, so, you know, it's almost something, you
I
know,
got one room there.
Yeah. But I mean, there are a lot of people that don't go. Don't need blood pressure medicine, you know, and don't need other cholesterol things and stuff like that. Well, they're walking away.
Look at your deductibles,
Deductibles or copays?
copays, deductibles.
20 versus 25, 50 versus 50, 100 versus, that one went down. That was the same.
But Paul, with your numbers,
Yeah, these are
the gold. If we look at what Gene was talking about. Given the possibility, you have some older people that work for us.
This is kind of explained it too. This is your MVP HMO, which keeps them in network.
Mhm.
Okay, they can go to any doctor just about, same thing that's in this plan. Okay. And that's the one we got now.
Yeah, the other comparison you probably want to do follow be the MVP renewal plan.
This is the thing where it jumped up. Okay.
Where were you reading, Colleen, on your
And if you come down
baby
here,
scenario? What two numbers were you comparing?
that's
whose-
the biggest.
whose
difference
plans?
right there. No,
500 versus-
this slide,
Did somebody just come in?
that line
Yeah,
there.
if we dropped an envelope off, pay taxes, might as well.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So if you go to the ER, it's gonna cost
An
an
envelope
envelope
for taxes.
after
After the deductible.
after these
School taxes?
Right.
compared to what we have now.
I dropped mine off today.
Not here. Yeah.
Was the inpatient hospitals, the copay that people end up with. So right now it's 200.
Okay, I see it. I see it.
If we
200
went
bucks,
to the
yeah.
other one,
It would either be 500 or 800.
500 or
all those
800.
other Numbers, I see.
But you're saying that people bring those bills and we pay them anyway? The difference?
So why don't we do this?
Hold on, there's the
Okay.
question. Can you hold that for a second?
You know,
But you said you saw in the
but if we're not,
manual that we're supposed to pay the co.
yeah, where'd you get?
I have
where-
have questioned that and.
I believe that's just if you're admitted
Resolution.
to the ER, right, or something, or through the, isn't it through the ER or surgery? Something like that,
That was inpatient.
It's inpatient copay.
all over.
Because I know that not too long ago, before we paid one, I wanted proof that it was legit and we were supposed
Well,
to.
then let's,
So you have been paying it?
Mhm.
so let's.
So
do
where did
this.
that come from? That's my question.
It's a resolution that
That
the board
resolution was
passed at
made
one
a
point in time.
Few years back, I'm not sure exactly when, but there is a resolution to do it. Yeah, when you were negotiating,
Previously,
yeah, I don't know how many years ago, but it's been there.
Before my time,
Probably,
yes.
yes.
probably.
The first one that I saw, Linda was still here when that one was processed. But since then I've done a few, not very many. I mean, I think I've done maybe 3.
Then why don't we
2 or
do this?
3.
3 in the
And
last.
I can tell you
couple
that
years.
I saw the resolution. I do not have it with me today to show it to you, but I saw the.
Yeah, there's definitely a resolution. I know there is.
Because-
I'd have.
And
And let's do this.
We looked to
Gene?
make sure that it was there.
To take care of your situation on your copays. Which are presently. Okay, $200. Okay,
But you're talking about
After
inpatient
the-
hospital.
right. Okay, it's $200. The one we're talking about taking out is $500. Okay, after the deductible. Okay. So why don't we take this? And if it comes up that this happens,
The town pays it.
the town pays it.
It actually doesn't.
And then we
hit
keep the
employee.
deductible the same at $200. And it would be 300. That the town pays out of the floating fund.
I'm putting you on the spot, Colleen, I apologize for that, but of the 3 or so that you recall doing, roughly how long a time period? Last year, last couple of
No,
years,
in 4 years.
last 4 years.
I've been here 4 years and I mean, I'm not going to name, but I can pretty much think of exactly what ones they were. I believe I've seen 3, possibly 4.
Then I'd be inclined. to
4
say we
years.
should Go with that, with the higher copay one,
That's what I'm saying.
save the 2%, take the risk on having to pay the copays.
I mean, we could clarify that more. We could pull that resolution and clarify
Yeah,
that.
I'd like to
more.
see that resolution when it was done.
And then at the same time, either we can,
Because excuse me, because I don't know if the resolution says forever, or was it for that particular year?
If
No,
it
it
had
was-
said that year, then I would not have.
Right.
gone
Yeah,
ahead and
well,
paid it
that's,
The last time. And the last one was this year,
How do you,
was the beginning of this year.
this is a rhetorical question, okay, it's not aimed at you, but how do we know that there isn't something more current that changes it again, resolution wise?
I don't recall ever changing that.
Yeah.
Anything ever being changed on that.
Stay at that and pay the difference.
I mean, I was trained, I was
Take it out.
told when I was hired and trained that this is what we do, and when I went back and questioned it, I was provided the resolution
Yeah.
that shows.
I'd like it.
That it's
I'd like to
legit.
see it just.
That's fine.
That's the way I'm viewing it now.
I like Paul's suggestion that kind of mitigates that issue that Gene's talking about.
This way it doesn't hurt the employees like Gene and the rest of the group. The deductible stays the same as the present plan at $200
The employee
and we
payroll
pay,
deduction, you mean, stays the same.
yeah, and we pay
At 5%.
and we pay the $300 difference
The copay
for
difference,
copay.
which we're already
Well,
doing.
that would then be hitting them with a $200 copay, which they didn't have before. Because you're saying there's a $300 difference.
There's
They didn't-
$300 difference between
That's just one example.
200 and 500. But
200
they
and
didn't pay the
500,
200.
correct?
So we would be, the
We pay
town
the
would be
whole five.
paying the whole 500.
Right, which is what we're doing
Oh,
now.
that's going to the silver, from the gold to the silver, like Paul's talking about, correct, Paul?
Yeah.
And if we do that, keep it at 200, right? And we take up the extra 3.
Now, there is another one, hold on. What's this other one? Urgent care. Right now it's 20. That goes up to 50, so $30 difference there,
That's a deductible.
yeah,
So that's gonna come under the HRO part of it.
that's correct.
We kind
Okay.
of don't have to worry about that part.
The same thing with the copay emergency room. It's 75 now. And it's 300 underneath that, which is under the deductible, and so we don't have to worry about that either.
But the 300
Until they
copay,
hit their deductible. then
But the
they would-
$300 in copay,
we'd be on the hook for that.
we'd be on the hook for that one.
Not.
No, we
urgent
don't,
care.
we do not have a resolution to pay somebody's emergency room copay.
No.
So that would have to.
The resolution is very specific.
If
Oh,
they're-
Yes, you're
if
right.
they're admitted.
Admitted,
Admitted to the hospital, yes, you're right.
Forgot
inpatient
about that.
hospital.
That's inpatient hospital,
So that.
which you're paying now anyway,
Down this list,
correct?
that resolution would
The
only
200,
be,
yes.
that would only be relevant to inpatient hospital. Wouldn't be relevant to any of this other stuff.
Correct.
So
Okay.
inpatient hospital, this $500 or $300 difference that we're talking isn't even in there. Because we got to pay it anyways under the resolution. That was passed a number of years ago.
So the Colleen reminded us, we don't pay just the difference, we pay the whole thing.
Correct. Urgent care went up $30. After copay. Emergency room. That's up a little bit. Outpatient lab work, $15. $15.
Now correct me if I'm
I
wrong.
don't
We
see
pay
where it's
3% right now, right? Employees,
5.
we're paying 5. And if we go to the silver, we're going to 8%, right?
Well, either way, you don't,
Yeah,
you could stay,
sorry.
I got it at 5. We got it at 5 too, and it's actually less.
And what if we stayed at the gold?
Yeah, the gold is the left column. You have one of these and silver
No,
is
I
the right
don't.
column.
I'm just trying to think.
On the
here.
gold. If we don't change
Hold
any,
on.
hold on, if we don't change anything. Don't change how much we take out of their paycheck, we don't change anything, it's gonna cost the town 13% more.
So we're going from 5 to 13%, right?
No,
No, it's gonna
You're
cost,
We stayed, huh?
You're talking, you're.
You're talking employee.
yeah, the 13% I'm talking about is what the town would pay.
basically,
Every
Ron,
month in the bill to the insurance
hey,
company.
but Ron, here,
So how
right
much-
now, if you look at this. You're paying $16.62 for a single.
Yeah.
Okay, if we stay with the gold, it's going up to $19. So that's $2,
240 roughly.
$2.40, $2.50. Okay, more
A pay period, right?
per pay period. Okay,
For a single coverage person.
if we go up to the next one. You're talking from $16, which you presently are paying, up to $30.
That's 8%.
That's an 8% increase.
Yeah, we don't have to make those.
8%
No, I know.
increase, 8%.
To the employee.
All these employees are getting 3% raises.
It's
So
not an
that's-
8% increase, it's a 3%
3%
increase from 5 to 8.
Yeah, it's not,
I agree, 3%, okay, and you're giving a 3% raise.
right.
So it's a
Where's
wash.
that go?
It's a wash.
Out the door.
Yeah, it's a wash.
How can us employees get ahead with inflation and everything when insurance goes up and then our raise,
Well, for
It's
one
gone.
thing, Ron,
it's gone? And another thing is, we are the lowest paying highway department around.
That's not true. You keep saying that.
It
That's not
is.
true.
It is, and I will prove that.
I have it here exactly what we pay and
And I mean, we do pay less on insurance. That's where it makes up for it.
that's correct.
But we will never get ahead. Because of this inflation crap.
Now, hold on, Ron.
And the 3% is gone. It's
No,
gone.
no, wait a minute.
but so you're
What's
mixing 5%
3%?
and 3% of two different numbers.
3%,
All right,
you're looking at 3%
of
of a
your
weekly
pay,
salary,
right,
and you're looking at 3%
set
of this,
of this number.
of this number.
You're looking at.
So
two
you're
different-
only looking at, I don't have the figures in my head, but you're looking at probably less than 1/4% increase.
To go from
Yes,
5% to 8%.
yes.
Okay, that's what you're saying now.
It's not what you think you're looking at,
Right, okay, okay,
okay?
yeah.
Cause it does go down to what, like I said before, how much money are they going home in their paycheck with? Would you, as an employee, your employees up there, your men, you think they'd rather go home with the money in their paycheck to spend because of, like we said, inflation, things are going up? I mean,
I would say it all depends on who uses a doctor
Yeah,
more than
exactly.
the others.
it's a whole different,
That's the
different
crap
angles.
side.
Yeah,
That's the crap.
that's true.
Yeah, yeah,
There's also that.
you know.
For a young man coming in or a young person coming in to work for the town, they never go to the doctor.
I just.
I never did when I
hate to
first
see
started.
insurance go up and then they get a raise and it's, you know. a
Yeah,
wash.
but you're-
Not even there.
This
You
sheet
know what I mean?
that you're
That's what I
looking
read.
at, okay,
I ain't
Is
mad
a-
because I don't have one. Nobody gave me one. So,
is a sheet that
thank you. Bill.
it's not an 8% or a 10% increase.
It's less than 1%.
It's less than 1% based on
I just-
8%.
I just did this quick, say a guy makes $20 an hour,
Right,
all right, you know, that's $1,600 in 2 weeks, 3,200 in a month.
Yeah.
Is whatchamacallit, it's going up. $2 a pay period, that's $4, so $4 into 3,200 is 1/10%.
a 10,
So
like I
yours are two
said,
different numbers.
one,
Yes, that's true.
I said one. I wasn't off by much, was I?
Oh, you're off by 1/8%. I mean, no, you're off by 1/8 of a hundredth,
Of 100,
off by 1/8 of a tenth.
of a 10th of a percent. Okay,
All right,
You
so
take- you take-
and then besides that, you're getting 3% and Hadley's only getting 1%.
You take Logan, he's gonna be making $24.94 per hour. All right? So you can't, that number there,
this is per pay period, right?
you know,
So 2 weeks.
going with the pay period is like he says, not even a 1% of that $24. Not all, you know, like you're thinking 3% to 8%, it's not.
So,
Okay, so he makes $1,920 in 2 weeks. And his health insurance is gonna go up $2 or $3, $2.50.
that's what you're talking.
Yep.
2.5
You only
divided by
talk about,
1,900.
11,
$2 or $3
cents.
Again, it's just over a tenth of a
15 cents or
percent.
something.
It's not what you're thinking, I know. Because the
Okay,
wages are a
technically,
higher
yeah.
percentage than the copay on insurance.
That's 6.5
I mean,
cents.
Yeah, the layman.
I mean, even if we leave it at 5%,
You're gonna take 3% of my pay.
even if you leave it at
Never.
the 5% it is right now in 2023. Even if you leave it like that, it's gonna go up to 1906 from 16 to 32. You're talking not even $3.
Okay, now, here's the other side of the argument. If we take another 2 or 3% out of these guys, it's not even gonna make a dent in that 13% increase.
No,
It's the same 2 or $3 we're talking about per pay period, so. How many people we got? 10, we're gonna save 20, 30, 40.
At the present time, when I did this,
Gonna be $500 a year, we're looking at 13% of
25 employees.
$450,000. What number did you plug into the budget for health insurance?
We
I
plugged in the big
think
number.
my guys would rather see a
Plugged in the
couple
big
bucks more taken out than get hit with deductibles or co-pays or whatever.
Say it again.
I think, I can't speak for them,
Yeah.
but I think they'd rather see a couple dollars out more in their paycheck than go and pay a $50 deductible when they walk in.
Copay.
Copay. That's the way I feel. Leave it to what we had this year, it worked out well, and leave it at the 5%. I'd like to see it more, but leave it at the 5%.
Yeah,
And
I would like to
we'll
ask-
battle early next year on this earlier.
but I can't speak for them, but I think
But
they
you-
would rather do that than pay up.
They get whacked,
When
they
they
whacked,
go,
they go to
oh
the
my
emergency
God,
room.
The
Yeah.
whole thing is, we're paying
That's
the
exactly what I'm
deductible.
saying.
Especially if it's somebody that goes to
Goes
the
a lot.
doctors frequently on a regular basis.
We're paying the deductible.
Yeah,
But the co-pays are that actually get paid by the employee
Employee,
are going up a lot.
But you don't pay the copay till you
Yeah,
reach. the
these two
deductible.
left-hand,
right.
these two left-hand columns,
Is one,
current plan. I'm sorry,
no,
if you were spouting numbers, those are more important than what I'm gonna say. Yeah, the current plan versus renewing the current plan.
Yeah.
It's gonna cost the town about $54,000.
53,
That's the
53,
13%.
Yeah.
That's 13%. So if we don't change anything, that's. where-
And right now, that's in the budget. Right, Colleen? We picked that number. We picked the new percentage of the old plan. This was what it was in 2023. This is what they want in 2024, and that's what's plugged into the budget.
Now, Ron, when you made the statement that you would rather see a little more come out of a paycheck than
If
get
it's only
whacked.
$2-3, I think they'd rather see that come out than pay a $50 copay.
That's where it hurts,
That's-
right there.
Yeah,
So that's, I think that's a better point than what I made.
because when they pay the copay, they want it right then. It's not, hey, bill me.
Yeah, exactly. It's gotta come out of your pocket.
It's a lot easier to come up with a couple bucks a week than it is a $200 bill after your wife had a baby.
That's what I'm thinking for my guys. I will ask them and find out, but
Here's the other side of that, that $2 or $3 per employee. I would almost call that nitpicking. What's it gonna save us? $8,000 or $10,000 a year?
Yeah.
The only reason that I would go along
Where do you-
increasing the employee part of the pay is to get them used to the fact that they're gonna have to start paying more.
no matter what, that's,
can I just ask where, I'm a little confused though, where you're coming up with the $2 or $3 per employee,
Let's
cause,
say if you go from 5% to 8%.
yep. That raises the family plan from $54 to $86.
So I was looking at the single one, which is only 11, so my arithmetic sucks, but
$72 a month that raises it monthly, I'm
times
guessing, right?
10 or 15 people, it's still is it's kind of a.
I mean, the
small number,
single goes from, currently they pay,
16.
well, I guess that's the. with the-
That's where I was coming up with $2 or $3, but I should have been using the number you're talking about, which is the 8%.
Well, if you wanna look at something else too. You're paying, if we stay with the present one, you're paying $53,000. If we go down to the plan we're talking, or I've been talking about, it's a minus
Lower 7.
$7,000.
Yeah.
So if we take that money and pay. And pass a resolution to make the difference up, it'd be cheaper to do it that way. You got $50-some thousand or $40-some thousand to pay back. And it'd be better to do it, they wouldn't have anything out of their pocket taken.
Which we're already paying it anyways.
No, we're not paying it all,
We're not paying it all.
No.
but I'm saying taking care of. Like everybody's complaining about right this minute,
To put that
Okay.
aside again, the 3 or 4 you remember, do you remember about what the amounts were?
200.
200. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
200.
Yeah.
I mean, now it would be five, if you went with the silver, it would be 500 now.
$600 or $800, we're gonna save 7,000. And the
How
employee's
much?
gonna get more.
You're saving 45,000. Because the current policy is going up to $53,000 increase. And this policy's
Right.
a minus $7,000.
Six
Okay,
grand.
so you're talking $60,000 difference in the plan. I'd rather give it to them in their goddamn paychecks and pay freaking insurance companies personally.
I like that idea.
That way, all the employees, their benefits don't change. We pay the difference. And we save some money. That's the way I think about it.
Follow. See this, I don't know, I can't read from here. See that number minus 69,
Mhm.
you know, this is what we got.
This is what.
This is what we
proposed.
pay if we get the same thing, which is
Mhm.
53 grand more.
Right,
This is 7,000 less, so it's a net of 60,000 difference.
Mhm.
But then. To compensate for the people getting screwed, we'll pay these companies.
Pay the difference.
Which in the last 3 or 4 years cost us a grand total of $600 or $800.
Co-pays or deductibles.
Co-pays.
Co-pays.
The HRO.
Deductibles are paid for and we haven't used them up.
As I understand it, the deductibles, we've been talking about staying with. HRO, is that the right term?
HMO.
HMO,
No,
the
HSA.
HSA,
HSA.
the thing
the
where,
HMO, HSA.
yeah,
ABC.
Mhm.
I,
So the only thing I would need to clarify, that I feel like needs clarification, what you're thinking is go with the silver. Which saves quite a bit of money, and you're thinking then. Pick up paying the
co-pays,
co-pays.
right? And I'm assuming. That like
The
this
difference
year,
in the co-pays,
the
you're talking-
deductibles are already paid for.
the deductibles
We
already
would
paid
just
for.
need to clarify, I mean, we'll have to pull that resolution, we'll have to clarify that.
Or update it.
Exactly what we are going to be paying,
Right.
so that I'm not, oh, somebody is bringing me this copay, are we paying them?
So the co-pays, what you're actually looking at,
fine. This
as
was
an
the last one?
example, urgent care, we'd be paying $30.
Well, yeah, but are we going to get into paying all the copays, or are we just going to pay the larger copays?
And now her,
Well, that's the
Colleen's experience was only the.
The only
inpatient
copay
hospital.
we
Inpatient.
have been paying is the inpatient.
Well, we're paying.
I mean,
that
I think
already.
to try to get into paying all the copays for every person's doctor's visit and prescriptions is gonna get a little crazy.
That'll be a lot more than,
And I don't
$600.
even know how we can do that with HIPAA. But we can,
Well,
There's
the
that, too.
employee would have to pay it and just bring in the receipt. They don't have to bring in. Like, say how when you get a script that says what you're on, and it also has the amount on it. But I think you can get just a cash register receipt. I'm not sure
Mm.
to submit. But that would be, and then it would be up to the employees to submit it to get reimbursed.
but like Matt talked about last year, you get into a lot like the HRA. I am not in everybody's HIPAA stuff. I don't see all
Right.
that. You're getting into HIPAA violations for me to see a lot of that. So we would have to talk to them and see how we could work it out. I mean, I think it's been where it was the one inpatient hospital bill. They've brought the bill and I've paid it, and it hasn't been a big worry over HIPAA. It's been like 3 times in 4 years, so. But I think it would need to be clarified more if that's what you were wanted to do.
Well, the whole thing is like I said, you're paying the deductible anyways for the hospital visit. Inpatient hospital, correct?
You're paying
Oh.
for the inpatient
Co-pays.
hospital, yes.
And right now, we're talking $300 difference.
Mhm.
Okay, we're paying that already.
Right.
So what else
there's
are we
only,
thinking?
there's only 2 more that I see.
That's correct. If we're paying the difference,
Outpatient surgery and emergency room.
Right.
that's correct. And we're talking $30 on one,
No, they're 200 and 300. Outpatient is right under inpatient.
emergency room.
Emergency room is 300 copay after deduction.
Yeah. So you're talking $225 from what we got now. And we're talking $30 on urgent care.
Yes, I think you're right.
I know I am, I'm looking at it,
I don't see where the deductible is.
okay?
But it can't be any more than that number.
That's correct. So we're actually taking $60,000. Okay,
Yeah,
and saving, even if we have to pay those other two things,
Emergency room and inpatient.
yes,
okay, so
or the difference. The difference. Okay, right now, they are paying
That would get really sticky.
20 and 75. I'm saying we pay 30 and 225. That's the difference. So nothing
Okay,
changed.
but next year, how do you calculate that difference? You go back 2 years ago to the dollar amount and say it went up I'm just, it seems like in the future that gets sticky.
Gotta look at it next year.
I'm lost.
She's saying, what if the things change next year?
We're already.
I don't
paying
care.
the deductible.
We're paying the one deductible. She's used it 4 times, she said.
No. Copay you've used 4 times.
Co-pays, excuse me, 4 times.
So. If we pay the deductible now, and we were paying it already, so let's not talk about that anymore. For this conversation, what the difference would be is the copays. And that's these numbers here,
That's right.
500 in the case of inpatient. 200 in the case of outpatient surgery. Skip a line because it's the same. Emergency room, $300.
I say pay the difference.
It's a. There is no, we're already paying the other one.
I have
There
to
is no
agree with
difference.
you, Paul, but it's just sounds to me, I'm sorry, I'm a numbers guy. How can they make such savings and there's not that much? You know, if you go down all the way down. I mean, you're going from a 553,000 increase to a minus 6,000.
Because,
You also have the deductible which the town pays.
Yeah,
But the deductible is going from 3,200 to 5,000.
right,
The cap,
which of course,
Which makes it cheaper, but we choose to pay that, so we are getting the savings.
the whole thing, Gene, it's like, okay, here.
I'll go what you guys say.
The easiest way to explain it to you, listen to me,
I'm listening, believe me.
car insurance. You pay a $200 deductible on your car, the bill's $1,000, right? If you buy $1,000 deductible, okay, that policy's now $600, correct?
The logic is correct.
Well, that's basically the
I
same
just don't
thing.
trust these insurance companies.
this is how statisticians make a living.
Yeah, huh? I'm not
Yeah.
a statistician then.
I'm comfortable, it's a teensy bit of a roll in the dice, but what we already saved is our cushion.
We're saving $60,000,
You know,
I don't-
just renewing as is.
just renewing it, and I don't see where we're gonna get burned.
That's hard.
Are we voting or making a decision?
No, there's no, it's.
No, we can't,
No,
vote
this is
on
a
it, but you
workshop.
gotta say yes or no now so we can change the budget.
You understand what we've been saying?
I think I
Well,
do.
that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
you're
gotta
looking at
agree on
that.
it now so we can
That's-
come back
you're good
and vote for
numbers
the
and stuff.
budget.
In the interest of moving this along, that's what I think we should do, and we should include copay for inpatient, outpatient, and emergency room.
The difference,
So where's the copay
I'll say
coming
the
from?
difference.
The
yes. There's no
difference.
difference, but yes.
Where's the copay coming from? All those copays?
the $60,000 we just saved.
Coming out of our hide.
Yeah, but, okay, but the 60,000, you're charging the taxpayers. You're not charging them now. So where's that money coming from?
You sort of are, because you put that 450 already in there. So-
Yeah, oh yeah, I know,
So
yeah.
you should put So you should put, I would say 15 grand on top of the 391. Man, I was almost friggin' blind.
Okay.
There's the 391,
Mhm.
okay? And I add another, what do you think about that number? I'm just making that number
That's a
up.
good number.
Add 15 grand or so to that to cover these copays.
What 391?
That's.
I'm looking at. Marshall Sterling, second column from the right,
Yeah,
Okay.
way down towards the bottom.
It says minus 2%. That's the one we're going
Yeah.
with.
so you're saying the 391 and add another 20% to make it 430, 4.3?
I would say add
Okay.
10 or 15 grand because our experience is less than $1,000. But that experience is only on one, and we're now talking about covering three things, so triple it. 600 times 3 is $1,800, couple grand, put 10 in there to be safe. So
And so let me just clarify, we're talking pay the difference between emergency room
Yep,
and urgent care.
Urgent care.
And we're
And-
still going to pay the whole
and
inpatient.
outpatient and inpatient.
What, outpatient what? Oh, lab or
Surgery.
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 It's the big.
It's the
tickets.
same. The outpatient
I
surgery. is
don't know
the same.
about outpatient surgery, but okay, I'm listening to you guys, you know.
See, outpatient surgery, the copay is $200.
Presently.
But so. so
Presently,
we're gonna pay
Yes,
the
it is.
difference between
That's what it is
urgent care and
now.
emergency
Yeah.
room. But we're still going to pay the whole. Copay for inpatient hospital like we've been doing.
yes,
Yes, yeah.
which in this case is $500.
Okay.
But
Okay.
not that a wash is free, but that one's kind of a wash already because we're already planning on it,
That's already being paid.
right? And the next two,
This way, there's no additional money taking out of the employees' pockets.
right, they also get a little better package.
They get a little bit better package,
And we hopefully end up saving someplace between
about $40,000.
$45,000 to $60,000.
That's right.
If it works, it's, and like
It's a
you're
roll of
saying,
the dice.
it's like everything we've been doing.
That's correct.
But it's a roll of the design of the dice based upon a little bit of previous experience.
Yes, exactly. We've already had, what, a year of doing it and
Yeah.
it's panned out.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't see where we're gonna, knock
Okay,
on
so
wood.
one more time, that,
Yes.
we're gonna pay 391 and
Yeah.
we're adding 20,000 to that for.
I say 10 or 15, you keep saying 20.
Oh, I
That-
thought you said
that-
20, I'm sorry.
I think you said 10 grand to cover it. You said 10 grand should do it.
Yeah, I think 3 grand will cover it, but I'm real
Well,
conservative with other people's money.
yeah, but be conservative. That's good.
Okay, so I add 10 to
That's what I said.
15,
Okay, the 10.
That,
yeah, 391, so you're 401. Will be your new line item for this item,
and you had budgeted how much?
Right now,
450, right?
No, there's more than that.
452.
But he budgeted the renewal with no changes.
Yeah,
Right, but you have to also remember that, okay, that's not the only thing in that budget line. Vision insurance gets paid out of there, dental insurance gets paid out of there, where.
Yeah, but
The employees pay for that themselves.
you gotta
Virtually,
reverse
that
those
doesn't
figures
come out of
out.
there. Never mind. that
no,
doesn't
don't,
come out
the
of there.
employees pay that.
No, Humana comes out of there. The budget line.
Okay, well, what I'm saying
Whoa.
for this stuff,
Okay,
include. What they say, 401,
Mhm.
401.
the other stuff you've already got in there that can't come out, that obviously stays in there. Holy shit. no.
let me just say this, that we usually don't do it right to the penny, because say if I do 401,000 in that line, if we have it hire a new employee,
Put 410,
that covers a little bit of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
We have just begun.
now we gotta do the budget. Okay, boss?
I'll go with what you guys say. I'm just,
Well, you
don't
comfortable
trust
with
them. I don't trust insurance companies.
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta be something in here. That, why would they give you such a good savings when you can do this?
Keep squeezing and see if the mole pops out.
All right, that's what we're gonna, well, we'll call,
I gotta check that resolution still.
We gotta
It'll
check the
probably have to change it
resolution.
Because
and we gotta,
Yeah, if you're gonna add, because I believe that is specific to
impatient.
inpatient, I
Yeah.
do believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it is.
Can you guys get that ready?
We can get it tomorrow.
The new resolution? Get it ready for next meeting?
yeah. we can, yeah. All right,
So the employees are still gonna pay the 5%.
we're leaving it at
That
that.
stays the
We're not
same.
changing anything.
And the way we can advertise it, if it all passes, and the truth is we're gonna start paying copay on these three items. I think that's what we should say. We don't want to pay. We're
Yeah.
gonna pay on inpatient, just in case you didn't already know, and we're gonna pay on the other two.
No, pretty much, well, everybody should know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think they're pretty informed about that.
Well, I think we have to do this every year. This health insurance stuff. See,
Well, yeah, but you gotta remember, like, years ago when we started, it was only $500 a month for a family. It was easy.
Do you
No.
want me to have him change the disc before you start the budget part?
Yeah, probably a good
Okay.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that way we don't have to get into it and then stop.
Are we kind of in agreement that we're not gonna change to that lady?
Well, I guess so, huh? But she
They-
can't.
Myself personally, I'd rather
You can't-
stay right where we are.
You guys
can't
decided
cover-
that
She
before,
can't cover the spouses of
Okay.
the,
or early retirement.
or early
That's
retirement.
a different policy, but I agree anyways.
And just to get answers at certain times of the year, they go down to 2 employees. What happens if one gets sick during the winter months? She gets questions all the time. She needs answers.
Yeah.
And you can talk to how many? 15?
Many, lots. I don't know how many.
You don't have a list yet?
There's probably way beyond the list I have of who I could actually talk to.
Somebody,
The whole thing is not to make your job any harder. That's the whole thing.
Fine.
And everybody benefits for it.
Well, thank you.
At least that's what my job is. Including the townspeople.
didn't you just give us a whole new budget?
I gave you the whole.
Yeah, you mixed it up with everything else.
Just one page?
Yeah, that's what.
No, I gave you the entire
Only
budget
gave,
because you said
you
you
got the
didn't
whole
bring yours.
budget. Because you didn't have yours.
It looks like this.
Need a drink.
Mhm.
I got that page.
Okay, we're rolling tape.
You put it in here.
I know, I gotta go through everything.
You're getting worse than me.
Not in here. Well, hold on. Oh, salary.
That's part of it.
She just gave you the whole budget, right? You gave it the whole
I'll
budget.
get him another one.
Yes. I mixed it up.
Yeah.
You found it?
Guilty as charged.
Here's that. Here's
Right.
that.
You find it, Jim?
No, Paul did though,
Here's that.
in my folder.
You don't need this anymore.
I take back everything I ever said about you.
Bullshit. Oops, excuse me, we're on tape. Excuse me.
Okay. I have it now,
No, you don't.
Mr. Supervisor.
You do not have the whole packet.
I got enough.
Okay. Anything you got?
All right, well, you ready to move on? All right, let's go to EMS.
I have just one question about EMS. I started it before we came. What are we supposed to do with that new ambulance number? Just, start thinking about it or?
Well, he would rather, I don't know, I spoke to Mo this morning, he doesn't know yet either what he's gonna do. But Mo's got it a lot easier because that number is
Or it's half of what we pay.
A quarter,
quarter.
a third.
Third, 1/3.
1/3. We pay
Roughly,
2/3.
roughly.
Right, so he pays half of what we pay.
No, we pay 2/3. of
We
it,
pay 2/3, they pay 1/3.
We pay 66%.
66%.
So we pay twice as much as him,
He pays 34.
right?
Yeah.
So
More than
he pays
Two-thirds.
half as much as us.
Now you're getting me confused.
You're right, but so I'm just
Yeah.
making a point just to.
Yeah.
Put on another half an hour for this. meeting.
My question is, how old is the ambulance we presently have? Wasn't that purchased after the accident?
No,
Yes.
No.
the one that got into the thing was the one we purchased.
What's that?
The one that got into the accident was the newest one we had.
Where's the one we got now come from?
It's been here all the time. That's the one you thought was in the other garage, but it's not.
I
He's
don't,
been in.
I don't remember.
I don't,
yeah,
I think
The
that
one we
we
have,
got
Hold
a
on.
new
What's that?
ambulance after the accident.
the one that we got into the accident was the newest one we had.
Right, did that get replaced
With a fly car, right?
Yeah, it got replaced with a fire truck.
Not another ambulance.
with a fly car?
Yeah, that's what it got replaced with
So we have one ambulance and a fly car.
right now. And I didn't see that in this,
Will this be additional ambulance or is it
no, yeah, well, the will.
trade the old one in?
I think the other one he said last time he would trade it in for 30,000 or sell it, not to trade it, sell it for 30,000, the fly car.
So that money gonna come back to us?
No, it goes back to his budget. Yeah, well, it comes back to taking care of this part of this ambulance, yes. So this number here should be roughly $30,000, even cheaper than he sees it. But he didn't give it to, I don't see it anyplace in here about the fly car.
All right. So what does that all mean in terms of what we're doing?
Well, for one thing, an ambulance has got to go out for bid. Correct?
We don't have,
We don't purchase.
That's not about,
ambulance.
yeah,
We
That's
don't
not
have to.
us. No, they're a separate entity.
They have to bid it. The ambulance
That's up
guy,
to
that-
them
We've been
what
down
they-
that road before. But we have purse strings.
So our portion of the ambulance, he put down 279,034 for an ambulance. Our portion would be 186,000.
How much?
$186,250.14.
200 and what there?
186,
Yep.
250,
14.
14. Is what our portion of the the new ambulance. would
That's
be.
2/3 of 279.
All right, I'm sorry, I was messing with my phone.
186.
106,
186,
right,
250,
250.
0.14. 14 cents. And on the 680 is what,
What's that?
2/3 of the 600,000.
For our portion is 412,546.
412,000.
That's on the new budget summary sheet that I gave you. The 412,000.
So it's- Hold on. What's that sheet look like? I'm sorry.
The new budget sheet, the front budget sheet
Okay.
has, that I gave you,
Okay.
has the EMS numbers on
Where'd you
there
pull that out of?
for the
Okay.
budget. I gave it to you when I came in.
Okay, I see it.
Not, it does not include the ambulance.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, where did I put mine?
Well, if we go ahead 186, we're gonna be well over the 2%, right?
Okay, let me add this in. Now, the town has two different ambulance funds that we deal with. We have the ambulance district fund, which the money from the recoveries from EMS go in that every month, the money is split between Luzerne and Hadley twice a year in May and December. We also have an ambulance fund that is essentially, that's the town of Lake Luzerne's money. That comes from the leftover recoveries that's not used to pay our portion of the budget.
Don't think so.
Because we have to estimate the revenue that's coming in, so any that's above and beyond that goes into our ambulance fund. So in short, we have $43,118 in our ambulance
much?
fund. $43,118 in our ambulance fund. That is from excess recoveries for the last few years. So that brings down the remaining balance to 143. 131.
I don't know, I'm lost. I didn't move away from this seat and I lost my paper.
Maybe I got yours, but I had one and I found this sort of pile under my.
Yeah, but the top sheet, I only need the top sheet. I
had
don't even have to.
Just chucking it here in the
I
garbage.
gave you the top sheet. Along with this paperwork.
My God,
New top sheet.
there it is. Right there. No, that's,
Same.
that's 2023. Yeah, no, but this don't have that other, this is the new one, but it don't have the new, yeah.
You have something written on it?
Let me see. Yes, this is mine. Can you throw it away?
Honey, I'm getting confused.
Friends like him,
Threw it
who
away.
enemies.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Paul's trying to pull the rug out.
I think it was past this microphone.
Question.
Fine.
All right, Colleen, what all you just said with that extra money, we still have in our account that we take in monthly. This 412,546 is our end.
So you got $43,118 and change
In the
in the
fund.
ambulance fund.
Can you say that? I have $43,118.78 in the
I
ambulance
didn't
fund.
Okay. That's what I gave you without the cents.
Okay,
What do you got in the other account?
which the recoveries?
Yeah,
I don't think I brought that with me. It's only about 60,000 at this
How much?
point. It's only about 60,000 at this point. Because it-
50,000?
60.
It got dispersed in May.
I think.
Mhm.
So you got 60,000. 50,000?
That's not our money.
Hmm.
So that doesn't, that a portion of that is ours and a portion of that is Hadley's. And that gets split. And if you look at the budget, it is what the less estimated revenues come from. So we will end up with some of that money, but we can't plan on that money until essentially the next, it's not extra till essentially the next year. What we have to spend for the ambulance is the 43,118.
And-
That's already basically ambulance money,
And that,
EMS money.
And that's been being put in how?
That's the excess revenues that were not used in the budget for the last few years.
and that would already be in this bottom line.
In the budget?
Yeah.
No,
Wouldn't it? Would-
I did not include the ambulance in anything in the budget right there.
Okay,
I said that line,
so the 43 really
It's
is
not-
a little pot of money that we.
it's
could
a little
use.
pot of money we have to
And
put
it-
towards the
And
ambulance.
it's not in this thing anywhere. Okay, it's not in,
So
I
we can
did
either,
not
Less
include
estimated
the new
revenue.
ambulance in the budget.
so we can either use it for the price of lunch or against the budget.
Probably want to keep it for the ambulance because that's a bill coming up.
Because we know that at some point we're.
It's
gonna
coming.
yeah,
need- Yeah.
We're gonna
so
have to pay.
does anybody know? How soon they need this new ambulance?
Yesterday, probably.
I think he's looking at it the first of the year.
How? How can a guy be making that kind of plan? Come to the taxpayer 3 months before and say, I need $300,000.
Because he's got something lined up, you know, he's trying to buy a demo or model on, instead of
Oh.
spending 300.
Yeah, Scott's very, very good.
He
Is he?
is
Very
very,
good.
very diligent when it
Yes,
comes
So
to
it's a short.
Matter of fact, we turned it
notice,
down
probably
last
because
time.
he
It
found a
cost
good
us
deal.
more money this time because we turned down the last one. Now it's gonna cost us more money.
Yeah,
So we're looking at basically, if we use the 43 against the ambulance price, round figures, about $23,700. or 200, excuse me,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. 200.
What number did you just
What
come up
was-
with?
What was the 2/3 number, Colleen? I got it somewhere, 186.
$186,000.
You take 43 off of that, you're looking at 143 grand
Yeah.
roughly.
We're looking at with what we have saved for the ambulance. It's about 143,000 we need to
Right.
come up with. Our share.
Oh, sure. We got the ARPA money and that extra
And we
money.
have ARPA money that some of that could be put towards that.
When do you think Mo will be able to chew through this and come up with his plan?
Well, we really don't have to worry about his.
No,
Don't have to worry about it. All you gotta do is figure 2/3 is our cost.
That's it.
I know, but
Well,
come up with
yes and no,
2/3, can you go and buy
because if we
2/3 of an
approve it-
ambulance?
Yeah,
He
you don't buy the
doesn't.
tires.
You see what I'm saying, though? If Mo says no, then doesn't that,
Well, Mo's still pushing, it's over the 2% cap. Now, how far he's gonna go with it, I don't know.
He's already took,
no, if Mo doesn't,
This whole thing, this whole budget's 2% over the cap.
am I right, though? If Mo says no to the ambulance, it's dead, right?
Yeah, but it won't hurt us. We got the money. It's in our fund. We're not,
Yeah, that 43,000.
we got the 43. We don't have the 100 and,
yeah, we do have the 100 because we have the 100,000 in ARPA money. Right?
We
we-
can take
but the
100
plan
out of
is for a
ARPA,
year.
and then it's gonna be about gone.
Would we do 100% of this if Mo says no?
No,
All right,
No.
so conversely, then, if Mo says no, isn't it dead?
to a point, it's dead, but it don't hurt us in any way on our budget. We still keep it in an account for
Yeah,
whenever
yeah.
he decides to do it.
My whole point is, do we need an answer from Mo before we can really figure out what to do?
you know,
I don't think you have to wait for him. If he doesn't want to do it, then it's dead in arrival. There's nothing we can do without him.
Okay, so
And
what,
if his board says, no, we want it cheaper, that's fine with us. We're just still we're ready to go with our share.
you are,
We
you
are.
already got it in the budget for this?
That's not
ambulance?
in the budget. The ARPA money is not in the budget. It's 100,000 that's sitting over here to be distributed to our by 2024. It's money we got from that 300 and whatever thousand was way back. It's sitting there. And we have the extra money that she just told you, should cover our share of the budget of the ambulance.
That's
Not
40,000 short roughly. If you got 100 and we got 43 in the kitty, that's 143, our share is 186.
Right, that's 40,000 different, but there's still money in the ARPA fund that if we got into that thing, we could use it.
So if
It's
you
awful
wanted
hard.
100
Yes.
it's awful hard to figure out.
This guy,
Sure.
he's got acorns buried all over.
Well, this is the problem. These acorns, I'd like to know what the acorns are. Okay, we've got a number of CDs. Funds like this. I don't know what they are. You don't, and I don't think you do.
Anybody that's ever come in and sat down and gone through the funds, which I've repeatedly told you to, knows about it. I can tell you Mike Fazio knows every bit of the ambulance funds. I believe I have gone over it with Jim. The ambulance district, you do get, there's printouts for. The ambulance fund is actually not a fund in the computer. It's not in my computer. So I can't do a printout on that one. It's so small that it's not a fund in the computer.
What do you suggest we do?
It's nothing hid.
What do I suggest? We just have to wait for Mo. I mean, really, I think we're okay. We're not gonna be short any money. Because what do we have in ARPA? I told you I figured that out the other
About
day.
150, 140 or 150.
Right, we got 140 or
But we
150 in
still
ARPA
haven't
money.
paid for all of the water purification.
Yeah.
Stuff out of ARPA, so we can't spend all of that on
No.
ambulance.
No, well,
That's relatively
we
small.
spent
right?
some of it out, we spent already some of it. On those things,
And an ambulance is
legal.
legal for ARPA. Well, I like not having to do anything. I'm pretty good at that.
Hey, guys, you gotta remember one thing, no matter what happens, this is just preliminary.
Hmm.
We can pass it and then in October, go back and add or take away. before we go to the public
By
hearing.
then we'll have, I'm sure.
Right, that's my
By
point.
then we'll hear
Let
from
Supervisor
Bob.
Merlino reach out to Mo and those two will get together. It'll be.
Yeah,
taken
this
care
is your work on it
Yeah,
process.
yeah, this will be
right
taken.
now.
That's all we're
So
doing.
don't beat the ambulance to death.
Huh?
Right.
of. And again, like I said about
Sorry.
Scott, he's
Yeah.
good. He is the man as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't.
What
mess
else
with
do
him
we
too
need to
much.
talk about in this budget?
Well, you gotta go back over the whole budget. You gotta make
I've
sure.
already done that.
Uh-huh.
Well, you're gonna sit here and do it again.
And Gene,
I'm-
well, I
I'm
guess Supervisor Merlino, I guess you said this budget is, we're how far under the tax cap? How are we looking?
$23,000.
Right.
And we're below it.
We're
Well,
But I didn't want, I told him not to tell you guys, because then you'll spend more.
Actually, he ought to be smiling
I am smiling. It's a good
because we
budget.
just saved him 60, well, not 60.
You didn't save me
Get back
nothing.
on the other. way.
Look at
We're saving him $50,000.
You ain't saving me
Go
nothing.
and dig a little hole and bury it.
Yeah, on the insurance deal.
But you don't have it yet. I mean, you're not, until.
Well, you better talk to your camaraderies and tell them to dish it up.
Seriously, I spent a lot of time with this Colleen, so you guys fire away with any questions you got, because I questioned out, got good answers.
As long as we. Hudson Grove.
Mhm.
Water. How we looking?
not very good.
How much did you increase it?
I can't increase how much did I increase what, the rates?
For a budget? Versus last year and this year, or this year and next year?
Um,
Looks like $56.
$56.
We already borrowed against. Rest of, huh?
We didn't borrow for Hudson Grove, we borrowed for street lighting.
For where?
Street light.
Lighting,
Street
Oh,
light.
is that what it was?
it was street lighting last year that.
It
we
was,
borrowed.
yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was,
Are we looking for that? The street light?
Those have actually, National Grid bills, I think have, they've stayed about the same, so if you.
That'd be
look-
my biggest concern is this
If
the
you
going
look
and
at
borrowing.
street lighting, I kept the budget the same,
Okay.
but I tweaked the districts a little bit, looking at
That's
the
good.
printouts. If you look at the 2024 for street lighting, the main Lake Luzerne district,
that on.
Last page.
the very last page of the budget.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome. The expenses on the top, so the top, the biggest district, the main general district, I actually dropped down 1,000.
Yep.
But I added 500 of that to the Hudson Grove district. I added 250 of that to Lake Vinar, and I added 250 of it to Wycon to just spread it out where I thought it needed to go.
Okay,
The-
good.
The top one was down a little and the other ones were up a little, so. I think that one worked out really well. We'll be able to pay back the 7,500 that we owe the general fund still.
That's been taken care of.
We paid 75, the
Yeah.
way we did it when we borrowed 15,000 from general fund. We
Right.
paid 7,500 back in
Last-
January of this year, and this next January we'll pay 7,500 back.
Okay.
And you're under the tax cap. We got that taken care of.
We're about $23,000 under the tax cap right now, which with health insurance, what we're doing, we can drop that down a little bit more.
Okay. I like what I'm hearing. I mean, it's,
So we're gonna give Ronnie some more money for blackout.
yeah, well, that's, and
And that we did do.
good,
Most of the,
our biggest issues.
most of the revenues,
I just.
maybe
think-
all the revenues are pretty conservative
Yeah.
estimates.
And that's good. That's a safe.
Yes,
Sales tax.
they're
that's
all
Big, big.
It all-
How about your fuel and energy? How are you feeling about that?
fuel and energy,
some
I would
taxes.
say that we hit high last year,
Right.
really expecting it to be bad,
Right,
and it was not as bad as we expected.
Yeah.
So
okay, I'm
I
sorry.
think if you look, I actually dropped the fuel expense for highway back down 10,000. Because, but we had raised it drastically last year.
Would you
thinking-
feel comfortable with that number? If we had an increase, all of a sudden, nationally, everybody's
Are we
paying for it. How you, yeah.
20, 2022, we had 26 grand. 2023 budget, you bumped it up to 45. And
For
if I read the
general-
right numbers.
Yeah, the reasoning for it went from
And this year,
$1.25 up to over $2 a gallon.
and
Hold
this year, we're proposing kind of split the difference of 35,000.
Hold on, hold on. hold
You know
on.
what we locked in?
You guys are in the,
I'm reading
Okay,
A 1622.4.
okay, that is heating, that is not actually gasoline or diesel for vehicles.
Okay.
That is the fuel oil and propane for the buildings.
It's not electric power.
Just the oil and gas.
The highway garage is
Oh, the middle.
propane, this
Right here.
building is
Oil-
propane.
all it is
The
is
only
oil.
oil we have left, I believe, is the old. Old school. No. Buildings and grounds,
Yeah, that old building there is.
they still have,
oil.
they still have oil.
I know my electric bills keep going up and up fast. Where would that be in here?
And that comes out of energy, oil and gas, so that comes out of that 1622.4.
I guess that is my,
Well, that comes out of there for, so there's a lot of electric bills. The pavilion and the parks come out of Parks and Rec
Okay,
line. The transfer station buildings come out of the transfer station. Ron's garage comes out of his garage line on here.
No, they-
Um,
place for it.
Then we have some comes out of buildings. I think that covers the.
I'm just,
And
yeah,
the water district, Lake Luzerne Water District, that comes out of power and pumping, Lake Luzerne Water. Just fund. Their power does. And street, yeah. And street lighting comes out of that fund.
That's why it's real confusing. It's three different funds. Sometimes they come out of three different places.
oh, I know.
And it's not just one place on the budget. That's what's confusing. But I pretty much can assure you it'll be fine.
I guess looking ahead in the future, if fuel starts costing, that's projecting a little bit, but it's looking like it's not gonna be good.
No.
Looking
it's
out.
Not looking good.
Not looking at all
For what?
No,
for fuel and oil and
This
everything
year?
in going forward. Not good at all.
well, last
We're up to
year,
$95 a barrel for oil. I know I'm
Yeah,
in the weeds a little bit here, but
well, good thing is most of our buildings are propane.
yeah.
right, so last year for
For
the main
trucks.
building here. We had, for most of the fuel. We had 45,000 budgeted, we only used 26,000.
Okay.
So you'll see. It went to 35, so I kind of kept it in the middle. I gave it an extra,
You know,
I
it'd be the
left an
greatest
extra
thing in this.
10,000 in there over last year, but I. Didn't leave it an extra 20,000.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
prudent.
written
That's
out.
good.
You know, at the time she's doing it, what we spent, say as of today
For what,
You do that.
fuel?
on this,
she can give you that.
For, I have a spreadsheet.
on all the items.
We got a spreadsheet on everything.
That's a couple bucks.
That's the printouts you get every month, has the,
Can you really?
every line on there is the printout you get every month.
Yeah. So
What's-
we can tell if, if we're heading for disaster or if we're looking good,
I know,
line by line.
I know we were heading for disaster. I thought it was water. But we increased water last year. Okay. by
Right
$25.
here is the printout you guys get every month,
You get every month that.
and it has current
But
year
it's
to
tough to
date
figure what you're
for
gonna
every
spend
GL.
the next couple of months.
Yeah, it's
To have the line.
Read
item.
tea leaves.
Yeah, right there. You get that every month.
I mean, that's what, when I, working on the budget, I go off of a lot of the end of the year 2022 numbers. And I've constantly been looking at the September numbers where we were right now for this year.
That's the way I look at it.
So then you kind of gotta look at the different, you just got the end of left,
We got 2 months left.
right?
Right, so
So you look
really,
at,
really, these projections are a function of two things. What have we spent this year through September?
Right.
And what we
And
spent
and what
last
did we
year,
spend last year for
November,
October,
December,
November,
October,
December, and what do we think it's gonna go up?
that's what we look at. And that's the way,
We don't have the advantage of being able to have the year end to look at because we have to have this before.
We gotta have a crystal ball.
Exactly.
I mean, there's some numbers that are dead set. Workman's comp, we know our numbers, New York State retirement, we know what we owe. Health insurance, well, yes and
Not
no,
close.
because that can go up and down.
Mm.
I mean, I can tell you right now, we did the whole budget process last year.
And we increased it because we hired more people.
Well, then, yeah, but then came enrollment and I had at least 3 people come in my office that were not on the insurance and go on the insurance. So I mean, that's a big
Yeah.
chunk for a year.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say you have to kind of have some extra money in that medical insurance.
Can't trim it down too much. You just can't.
You can't.
That's irresponsible.
Change that figure from 10 to 15.
I mean, when you figure family plans 3,700 a month.
Who's pregnant in your group? Besides you? Lori ain't
Point
pregnant.
at her.
Wrong with you.
Hey,
It's not on our
go
insurance.
down and smack him. We'll shut the TV off for a minute.
This guy.
He's terrible.
Maybe you better raise that to 15.
Okay.
Cause that younger generation we got. Winter's coming.
What you said. That's wrong.
Takes a while for the next tax though.
That's right. But it pulls into next year.
That's wrong.
That's true.
Winter's coming.
Talk to Freddie Gardner.
I don't know if you guys are ready for
When
me
were
to
they
say
born?
this or not, but I'm comfortable
Huh?
with this.
I mean,
What's that?
I think it's,
Listen, I'm
You
comfortable.
can't tell it to you any different.
yeah.
We
it's-
don't know.
Just don't know. A lot of stuff we don't know.
That's the one word in there.
I think we're in pretty good shape.
The one word, what we leave, 35,000 in contingency,
Left
35,000.
35,000.
not guaranteed to anything.
Nothing.
So you have one thing that could be $5,000 short at the end of the year.
Yep.
Then we'll pass a resolution to move the money into
I
that.
fully agree with that. That's good.
And
That's
we
good.
have to keep, that's what we keep.
Oh, yeah.
We used to do 50, then we lowered it down to 45 and then but we.
We gotta have comfortable room to move. We gotta have some,
We have 40,000 that we could play with, not counting the, whatever she said, 28,000 that is under the cap.
You gotta have money
yes, you
set
do.
aside
Yes, you do.
for emergency.
And actually, this year, we first year in a long, long time, we made more money on our CDs. We did well on the CDs. But that, we can't tell you yet until they all mature at the end of the year, and we'll tell you exactly what we made.
Yeah,
And Paul, I can show you right on the balance sheet if you'd like, where it lists what's in CDs for the funds.
if you would.
Did you see
I
the,
appreciate
I don't know what the yield is on a 30-day bond. Did you see that? That's like 5 is
You wanna know
through the
something?
roof.
You get a hold of
Really good.
Edward Jones right now on just normal short-term CDs, and I'm talking 2-3 year type of deal. 6.5%.
Yeah.
Where your banks are paying 3%, 4%. Huh?
Well, not all of them,
Yeah,
but
they're not really even paying.
I just say,
Glens Falls National is the cheapest.
huh?
Glens Falls National is paying the cheapest. And that's what they always did years ago. But TD Bank is up there into that 5.5.
They're,
Yeah.
they're another one that's up there. It is surprising. You get on the darn internet and start shopping different places on CDs. I think the cheapest is Hudson River Credit Union.
You
Oh,
know,
can I ask-
They can't even.
A picky little favor. Can you date these things?
Yes.
They
One
can.
one year we tried pink, green, blue.
No.
Yeah,
Crayola
Nope,
can.
yeah. So let me verify, all the raises were done at 3%.
You got a sheet on.
I think Gene got 4.
No,
We trying to start.
2.8.
technically not even 3 because he didn't take a raise in the budget officer line, so. Technically not.
Yeah, I
even
turned
3.
it down.
And Lori and Cindy did not take raises in any of the water funds. So you know that.
You should let them know there is one raise that they didn't see.
There's one raise beyond the 3%. And that is the deputy supervisor position. I was asked to put that in for $3,000.
That went to what?
3,000.
That went to 3,000.
Went to from 1850 to 3,000. We haven't paid anything out of that in 2 years.
2,000.
It's an old-
No, it was 18, the 2,000 was in the middle, that never really was a figure, that was just
This is
a
old.
tentative budget,
Where in the hell did you?
It's been updated. I think that's the only change though.
it's the only change. Cause I thought I was supposed to raise it to 2,000, then I got told it was 3,000.
We're going up to what?
3.
On top of. Councilman's pay, right?
Yeah, that's a, whatever you call it, stipend or
It's a
whatever.
stipend.
Let me. Jim, you're aware of a special request from one employee?
Water,
Mm.
yeah. Is that covered somewhere?
No.
Oh.
Everybody's at 3%, so that's why
He got 3% too, but he's looking for more.
Yeah.
Oh, but, well, can we, yeah, we could speak about something else, right? Here.
Mm,
'Cause there
Yeah,
might have-
I'm supposed to be in Saratoga at 5:45, but. go
All
ahead.
right, go, get out of here.
I make a motion that the
No.
meeting is.
No, no,
Just do what you have to do.
no, you can go. No, just so they know.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
Let's send Colleen's notes to these two guys.
Okay.
Good
That'll
plan,
get them up to speed in 30 seconds.
I will send you
Great.
that tomorrow,
James and
Perfect.
Colleen and Jeff had a meeting a week ago.
Friday.
He has found a potential part-time helper.
Yes.
Guy currently does Corinth.
Okay.
He's full-time in Corinth,
Okay.
village of Corinth.
Yeah.
I noticed that with your
Yeah.
email, you called the town.
Yeah.
Village.
And how much?
Well, it depends on how much we want.
How much is he looking for?
We got numbers. Colleen
Before
is
five
They would
grand.
like $42 an hour to come to it,
How much
42 an hour.
$42 an hour.
for? The assistant?
Yeah.
Or Jeff?
Weekend
No.
person would like $42.
No, he's gonna do mostly weekends and holidays.
And that would be 4,000 something a year,
How much?
4,000 something. High 4,000, 46, 48. I have it somewhere. So I don't know if I brought it tonight because I didn't think we'd be able to do it tonight. but
You're talking 5 grand.
Yeah, round it off. It's good enough.
You gotta figure at least a week in there for Jeff for vacation.
So
Jeff?
we're gonna need to discuss that more. We're gonna need to discuss. I
Oh,
would
he
say,
took notes at the meeting, so everything,
Okay,
I think
we'll
most of the
discuss
questions
all that more.
answered in that meeting.
sounds good.
I'm checking out the references. He checks out really good with Eric at the town
Town.
of Corinth. And the supervisor or the mayor was out, so hopefully I'll get a call back
Yeah.
from the mayor.
We make sure that the supervisor and the mayor knew that one of their employees was gonna work for us before we did that.
Oh, yeah,
Just found,
Just a courtesy call.
that's a courtesy, yeah.
that's why it's not out yet, because we had to make sure they cleared it. The mayor didn't get back to you today?
No.
No.
The mayor, I just called today because I thought he was town. I called Eric on.
Friday.
You gotta
I called
watch
him
it.
Thursday, but he wasn't gonna be in on Friday. He called me back first thing this morning.
You gotta watch it. Is it town or village?
It's village. But Eric knows him. Eric knows him. Town supervisor knows him and says, I give me an excellent rating.
Yeah, we got all good, good.
You know what I'm saying, though?
And this guy's already licensed and all that. He's at, his license is one step above what we need.
Yeah, he's got an A minus, B, and a C, or something like that. Well, we need it because now that the other guys stopped working there. He's working, he tells us he's working 7 days a week, which he is because there's nobody else doing it. That's why we gotta start this guy as soon as possible. Probably Monday, when we have our regular meeting, we'll.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. We'll have a resolution to put him on.
We'll send you more information.
I
You
have,
can send that to us.
I did bring it. I have one copy.
I have one copy, so you,
And that's,
We'll send it.
so. Let's send it. Yeah, just send it. Yeah,
Okay.
or you know.
Anybody got anything else? Ronnie? Huh?
Yeah, I got one more thing.
Well,
What-
I got one thing to correct you. Hadley is 3%, not 1%.
I was told 1%.
You're right.
I
I
would
just
want-
asked the guy,
3% of what?
big guy.
What?
Raise 3% raise.
And what about the USDA? I'm not gonna bring it up anymore. So that's,
Nobody's gotten back to me. I said to that earlier. Okay, the figures you gave me, I don't have a problem with.
well, you said last Monday,
I
you
know,
wanted to wait till tonight.
So you're good then.
So now you
I'm
tell me you're
good.
good.
It's good.
Okay, now I'll move forward.
1.2. 1.2,
1.2,
right?
yeah,
Gotta
and
be
it's
one-
in the budget. 110,000 payback, right? Is that the
The
number?
loan payment is in there for 110,000.
It's in our budget already. I'll call him and get him in here because we got. Here it is right here. This is all the forms we gotta fill out.
we'll start filling them out.
Yeah, right, thank you. Could have had them done 2 months ago if everybody agreed with it. Could have been on the way already. All right. Motion to adjourn.
And as an
Second that.
example, for that remark there, what if we were able to save an extra $100,000 over the course of 15 years? Would you have gone with it then?
Say that again?
If we had waited and saved $100,000 over the course of the $1.2 million because of a cheaper interest, it would have been better. It didn't work out that way.
Keep the same, hasn't moved at all. Same issue
Fine.
it was 2 months ago.
All in favor?
Yeah,
Who made the motion to adjourn?
I did.
Tim, I seconded it.